Hey everyone, it's Kat.
And Amber.
And we are
Wandering Soup, Black Lesbian Expats.
Alrighty. And our barking dog friend is our neighbor. We call him neighbor, and he responds. Whether we say neighbor or not, really. But anyway, we're outside today. It's beautiful. And Merida, we decided we sit outside and talk a little bit. Mainly what we're going to talk about today is parenting. So we've done a video in the past about parenting and traveling with a preteen. He's 12 now. He started on this journey. He was 10, turning 11. Soon after we got on the road and things like that. So it's been a journey, a real journey. Recently, we got a few questions about not only parenting but school. What do the kids do? Ooh, that sun. It just hit us, y'all. The clouds just went the other way. The way other way. So if we squint a little bit, you know why. So with that being said, though, we're going to get right into it, right?
Yeah. And the biggest question usually has to do with education. And how do you travel and do school at the same time? And that's, that question, that's the same question we ask ourselves. Right. So, we're in the same boat as everybody else with children online. We don't homeschool.
Anymore?
Right, anymore. We were doing that, and then we decided that we wanted our son to have more interaction with other students,
right?
No matter what, even if it's just online, like something. So so we went that route, and so we chose a school that is based here, and then we decided to, because we knew we were moving here, so we chose that school, and that's the one he started in online before we moved, and he still is in that, and so we're still in transition, I feel like. Yep. Even with this, we're still transitioning into it, and
learning.
We're learning every day, and I feel like everyone who's doing online school is figuring out what's best for their kid, what's the best type in, like, conditions to work in, the best type of way to interact with teachers, with if you have principals, whatever, counselors, how best to do that. So we are learning that truly every day. And, all of it we don't like. Right. But I realize that there's probably no perfect system, right. Probably no perfect online system, especially for all kids and all learning types. So it's definitely a matter of, like, being flexible and changing things when we need to. Right now, we're doing a thing where we sit together while he's in school. We actually, one of us, we switch off, we sit during school so that we can help monitor, so we can keep on top of things, because it's hard just to keep on top of, like, all the work, if he's doing the work, like, what's happening in class, because our school is also bilingual, so he's learning Spanish, and so is everything getting across fine, for him, since he is not fluent in Spanish yet. So it's a whole plethora of things.
Yeah, I mean, Amber said it all in a nutshell. It is really, though, you have to be open to change, open to admitting you made a mistake, open to admitting that he's a kid. And kids do what kids do. It's not a perfect world, never will be. You just got to make the best of what you have. Now, she did mention that we were homeschooling. That just didn't work out for him or for us because, hey, we're not teachers. Even though I've taught adults, it's totally different. And we just, we all hit a wall. And so we had to move into an online school for him, or a school where he had instructors. And I think that's been beneficial. Now, we've had bumps in that road too, and getting him to commit to it and to be present and recognize that this is, he'd be in school no matter where we were at. If we were in the States, we were here, anywhere. So it's been a transition. I think we're actually getting a little bit better. We had to learn the school system, which is totally different from the U.S., and acknowledge that sometimes the school system in the U.S. is not the greatest. Well, we know that. It's not even an issue. It's not. So we had to let go of some of those norms that we were expecting. Right. Because it's not going to be the same. I think that's been like the real biggest thing for me. And Amber and I've had, like, we talk every day. I mean, every day about something in depth, it seems. on this journey, and that was a big one for me and like an eye opener to go. He's not in school in the U.S. He's not even in a U.S. based school,
Right.
so it's not going to be U.S. curriculum. It's not going to be in that sense. So the way they approach it is really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, and so, and I don't think there's any right or wrong where that goes. Like, if you are considering, what you want to do, if you want when you're traveling, like if you want your child to be in a system that's based in the U.S. or maybe the country where you're going, if it's online school, then yeah, I don't think there's any right or wrong. I think it really is, and I think you can be willing to do trial and error
Right.
also.
Don't get stuck on something.
Yeah, because we're still kind of saying, okay, we're in a probationary period. Like, if we feel like we need to change at some point, then we will. But we also recognize that any system that we put them in is going to take some adapting to and work. So
Right.
yeah,
And we're also looking at supplementing because we still come from the U.S. based system, and we think, well, he's not getting this. He is getting it. It's just in a different way of looking at it, and it's a little hard for us even to adapt to that way of thinking. So we're like, well, we'll just supplement it with some things that we know we could, if we had to step in and look at them with, we would get it. And I think it was a huge bump, but we are getting there a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still hard to get them up. I don't want to get up either. School started at 8 o'clock. I don't know why. But we get up.
true.
We get online. We switch off. That's hard for him. It's hard for. We go to bed early now, so that's a good
Yes.
thing. Because 7 o'clock come early. Get up.
Yeah.
About
Got
20, 30
to.
minutes before 8 just to get up, get ready. Even though we sitting in the same house to get ready for school, we still got to get up and get ready for that. So and we try to keep them in that mindset. Get up, brush your teeth, change your clothes, set your space up so we can get into school. Because one day he may go to online. He may go into regular school again. And so with that being said, we don't want to lose those those things that you do when you get up and get dressed and leave the house to go to school.
Right.
So we want to keep them at least on some of that pathway. All righty.
child.
So that is school. And it's hot out here. I don't know why we did this in the middle of the day, but it had to be done. Next up is he's growing.
Absolutely. Yeah, with that, you have to, that's with any kid. So you know that when you're buying clothes and things, they're going to grow out of them. Shoes are going to grow out of them. So, yeah, when we were moving around, we had to continue to buy things, obviously, because he's continuing to grow. But, then there'd be like fads. He'd be like, I'm into this now, I'm into that. And it's like, okay, but
We're in Southeast Asia.
we're in Southeast Asia, and the thing you really want may not even be practical for you to wear here.
Please.
It might not even be practical, and by the time we move, you might not even be able to wear it anymore. So yeah, things like that. Like just you can't necessarily indulge every single fad, every single indulgence when it comes to stuff like that, because they are going to grow out of clothes. So like keep it simple. We've been like buying t-shirts, shorts, whatever is makes sense in the climate that we're in, and keep it basic. It's simple so that anywhere you go, that works. And then if you have to chuck it, which we often do before we move from one country to another, you can chuck it and feel any type of way because you had to throw away $50 t-shirt
Or them $80 sneakers that he wore twice. So we learned that on the first trip, first country, I think. We bought him some $80 sneakers that he legit wore, I think, twice because he didn't want to get them dirty.
Right.
Mind you, he was 10, and I would have never bought them, but somebody over here was feeling indulgent.
It was
that
a
day.
very dirty place. And
It wasn't
so,
even that.
Oh,
he
no,
he
it was
wants to
very
be a
dirty outside.
sneakerhead, y'all.
But I'm saying that's why he didn't want to wear them, because he would get them dirty.
But his feet are still growing. And then I think Amber finally had a conversation and said, your feet's still growing. You can't wear these sneakers in 5 years if you're trying to keep them. Oh, it clicked to him then. He seriously thought he was going to keep them sneakers and wear them in a few years around whatever.
Well, about a few years, but even in the next
3 months.
Yeah, I mean, like we're literally in a growth spurt stage. So
Right.
in a few months, things change. So
He was going to keep them, y'all. We had the conversation about sneakerheads. Anyway, that was it. That was the growth.
oh yeah, that's
All
it.
right.
That's it.
Food, y'all. Oof. This a fight. A fight.
Yeah, food is, I mean, it can be in general, but then when you're moving around from culture to culture and cuisine to cuisine, and some adults don't want to try new things. So, there are kids that are just like, nope, they see it, nope, they hear it, nope, they don't want to try it. So, of course, we come across that issue. As, multifaceted and diverse as we try to be, still, he's like, but I like, this, like basic, what I like, I don't want to go outside of that box. So now what we've come to is that, you got to try something, man. Like, we do eat a lot at home, which is great, which helps. Like, she cooks, and we all love to eat her cooking at home. But, we don't want to necessarily cook, every day. We don't want to eat in every day. So sometimes we're going to eat out. You can't always have pizza. You can't always have, chips. So, yeah, I think we've just come to a point where it's like, you know what? You're going to have to start trying, if you can turn down something, then at the same time you're gonna have to try something. Like, one day you turn down something, the next time you're gonna have to try something, because it gets old
real quick
and expensive.
Right, because the places that we go, I typically try to do a little westerny so that we know we can all find something with vegetables and the stuff that he may eat, and that tends to be expensive. And if he takes one bite, says it tastes like whatever, and then he just doesn't eat it, and then we got to come home and get him something to eat on top of that. It just gets wasteful.
Right.
But it's really because he's so conditioned to American processed food to a certain extent. I'm not even saying that. It's just he wants American taste buds. He wants the stuff that he had in America that looked good, looked like what he was used to. Because his mom cooked a lot when we were in the States. I cooked. We didn't eat out as much in the States because it's as pricey as all get out. But, we had some few bumps in the road when we first moved to Cambodia. Food wasn't great. Got sick a couple times, and the chicken was, was a little off more than once. So I think he got a little wary. And I got it. But that was almost 2 years ago. We got to let that go.
Yeah. That was scary, though. You ain't even let that go.
I did. I didn't eat meat as much. I didn't eat chicken as much there. But I went to seafood. And now I'm back, because Vietnam, the meat was fine. I had no issues in Vietnam.
Yeah.
I let it go, And that's what you're going to have to encourage your children to just let it go, like Frozen. Let it go, let it go.
Do it. Okay.
We moved a little bit, because it got hot, y'all. The heat was baking. Woo, child. Anyway, we can get this continued. Next up is social. Right. Wow. That's a huge one.
It is, really. We could do a whole video just about...
Let me see that.
About that.
I'm hot, y'all. It's hot. Go ahead. It's hot, though.
We've been talking about, it feels light, it feels great. The sun hit today, okay?
Right.
Oh, but anyway, social is a big thing, because everywhere we go, actually. But every country we've been in, because, we're always in our little bubble.
Mm-hmm.
And so, which happens when you're moving from country to country. So, but here, it's a little different.
Better.
The skies have opened, and we can see the light that, there are other teens here, other kids here of all ages, from other countries, including Americans. So it's great to see, even when we're out, we know that we're here. We're like, wow, our people are here. So other people that speak English, like it's, we run into people, it's like, wow, okay, this is great. But getting him to like want to hang out with other kids and meet other kids, that's the challenge. So we haven't been here long. We haven't even been here 2 months yet. So we're really just trying to find, things to do that, he would actually like. And then hopefully that will lead to meeting some other children. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We don't want to force it. That's the main thing.
Right.
I think that forcing it, especially when you have teenagers or preteens, I don't think that really works, as most people know. So it's really just a matter of like finessing it and hoping that, the teenagers come out of their rooms simultaneously and we all may meet somewhere.
They swarm. Bees. I don't know.
Right.
It's been interesting. I think from looking at it from my point of view, we were in Cambodia. He was in kickboxing classes. Yeah. He barely wanted to go, but now all of a sudden, based off of that, he wants to do kickboxing again. So now we're trying to find him something along those lines once everything opens up. Problem is that it's COVID, nothing's really open. In other countries that we've been in, it's been hard to find someone in his age range that was English proficient enough because he's definitely not. I mean, Vietnamese and Thai and all those languages, they're really hard to learn, let's be honest. So he was, a little bit wary. He get a little bored. But he did start getting into the mall, which is almost a typical, American kid thing. And there, too, as well. Especially in Vietnam and Malaysia. Everybody's in the malls because it's cool, it's AC. But here, I feel like he's lifted. I get the energy from him that he's ready. I don't think he was ready before. I think he's accepted now that we are a traveling family, and that if he wants to interact with people more, if he wants kids, he's going to have to put a little extra effort into it.
Right.
So he plays basketball now. His mom takes him to the court. Got some friends waiting on him. They don't speak English.
There are kids around, and they can do pickup games basically.
Right. They waiting on him.
It starts like that. That's how it starts.
That's America, though, right?
Right.
You take your ball, you dribble down to the court.
That's right.
And you see some people, and y'all start playing.
Yeah.
So he's learning that, and it's a beautiful thing. I'm excited for him. I'm gonna be in AC, but I'm excited for him.
Right. And we're going, but now we've learned that we gotta go in the evening when everybody else goes.
Right.
Because I mentioned we gonna go to the basketball court, and he was like, it's too hot. And I'm like, see, you learn.
Right.
But yeah. So we'll be out there when the people is out.
Right. Exactly. It's been beautiful. So next up is travel. We are a traveling family. I don't know what do you expect.
Well, the interesting thing is, and we talked about this recently, is that since we've gotten closer to the U.S., since coming to Mexico, we can tell that he has this idea now that we're close enough to go back and visit family and
every weekend,
here, right? Like that type of thing. Like not really, getting the fact that okay, that travel costs money and. Yes, that's the whole reason why we're here is because it is easier to travel back and it is going to be cheaper, but that still takes planning. So, but yeah, so just kind of struggling with that too. Like when you're further away, like we were in Southeast Asia, I think you don't have to, you get to the point where you realize, okay, this is where I am, and let me just, deal with it. But because we've gotten closer to, home, he thinks about it more and probably wants to. So obviously we have to make those plans, but he has to understand that those plans require money and resources and all those other kind of things. Right. So
it's a whole bunch of steps. We just can't get on the plane and go home. We got 2 adults and a kid. We have to plan lodging, food, flights there and back, visa stuff. And I'm a proponent of once a kid reaches a certain age, there's information that they need to know so that it can help them keep them focused and not angry about things. Like they don't understand, why can't we just get on the plane and go? Because a round trip ticket costs $400 or $500. And that's just life. I think some people are like, well, no, they're a child, they shouldn't be informed of money, but money runs everything around us. I mean, that's why we moved, was to lower our cost of living but raise our standard of living. That's just one of the things that we did. And so one of those things that he gets from doing this is that he gets indulged a lot when it comes to things that he wants because we can't afford it. But what we can't afford is weekend trips home to the U.S. But if he wants an extra bag of chips,
Saturday,
he wants some sneakers, he wants a new shirt, he wants a relatively cheap game, he can get it. He has a room by himself, there's a bathroom by himself. He's living the king life. But we can't afford no ticket home every weekend.
Right.
So when you get bored.
Yeah, so it's just those reality checks. Right. Soft, hot, it's tough love. Give it to them soft, but it's still reality.
Right. So. You got to keep the kids, when you're traveling with kids, you have to keep them reality based. Because if not, you're going to end up screwing up. I mean, America already screws up our value system. And then, so we're not only competing, right? We're competing with the American system that he's still a part of because he watches all the videos. He talks to all his friends from the U.S. and they're getting $800 of this and $500 of that. We're not doing that. We're just not. So, because we're traveling and we're doing other things. We're giving him cultural experiences, things that you just aren't going to see. So we're balancing it out. But we're also trying to say, no, you don't need those things.
Right. That leads to Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because that's, you know, I mean, that's, you know, we all experience once it gets close to Christmas, oh, I want this, I want that, oh, or da, da, da. I've already gotten the Amazon links. So it's been started, you know, to this, to that. But the thing is, when you're traveling the way we are, sometimes the travel is the gift.
And you had to remind.
Yeah.
You remember you was at that temple? Wasn't it beautiful? Flashback.
In that room you're in?
Yeah, that really nice room. It's beautiful.
With your own ensuite with the bathroom?
Right. You on TV, everything. Child boo.
Right. I mean, you know, we're being serious, but we're also kidding a little bit.
We live a little better.
Yes.
We could keep our costs way down if we wanted to, like even further.
That's true.
But we want to give him a really good space because he isn't around his family. We want him to feel like home is home, and it's a really nice home. And he'll listen to Diddy on the home stuff. Don't get me wrong, y'all. He'll be like, "Oh, this old," or "This, oh, I didn't got this in here."
I don't know where he gets that from.
Because it ain't me.
I don't know.
So.
But anyway. But yeah, you just got to be, you know, real when it comes to stuff like, I mean, it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's Christmas all year long.
Right.
Around here. So.
Yeah. And we got him a gaming system because we felt like he needed something like that, right? When I tell you the headache of traveling with that gaming system, going through security every time, he has to pull it out because he has to have it in his carry-on. Obviously you can't pack it. So it's just a hassle. And making the game cartridges, and we've thrown away some stuff by mistake because we were too heavy, and we threw away his mic because he does all these Zoom calls with his friends. Woo! So think about those things when you're traveling.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
Safety.
Oh, yeah.
Safety. So we talked about that in another video too, because we talked about when we were still in Vietnam about how it feels really comfortable to walk or to go around. Like you said, the mall. People hang out at the mall. He could go hang out at the mall, even take a ride on his own. So here we're still trying to figure out what our level of comfort is with that, and with him.
Right.
Right now, we're not there as far as like him being able to go out at 12 years old, be able to go out on his own. But in general, though, we feel comfortable here. So that's saying a lot. Right. And so who knows? But yeah, but as a family, we feel fairly comfortable. Like when we're out together.
Yeah, we don't have any issues.
Yeah,
just, you
so
just
great.
practice the same thing you practice anywhere. Watch your bag, watch your phone, don't leave it out, and stuff like that. But I will say that one of the reasons that we felt so safe in Southeast Asia is because all the kids are out by themselves everywhere, literally everywhere. You will see 5-year-olds walking the streets in Cambodia like they got a job.
They go to the stove.
They got a purpose, baby, and they walk with a purpose, and they be by themselves, and there don't be no problem. Vietnam is the exact same thing. It was really interesting to us, and so the first time he went to the mall by himself, I was freaked out. She was like, "You got your app, you got your cell phone, you got your money. Call me if you have any problems. See you when you get back." And I'm just like, "Oh God, I'm gonna die. We gonna die. He gonna get, I don't know, snatched. I'm on the FBI list looking for. I don't know." That boy went to the mall and came on back like it was nothing. Like he'd been doing it his whole life, and I had to let that go. And I'm hoping we're gonna get to that point here, where he can go out by himself and do the things he wants to do to a certain extent. Very regulated. Let's be honest. To the mall and back. Or something like that.
Yeah, or meeting other people, hopefully.
There and
going
back.
to the basketball court.
Right. Yeah. There and back. Come on home. That's it. That's what you're going to do, buddy. So, yeah, we're going to get there.
Yeah.
I feel safe here in Merida. Not as obviously safe in Vietnam and Cambodia and Malaysia because the kids there just are out walking. But here, there it's too hot. I think it's even hotter. I don't know what it is. Something. They just don't walk as much here. But they're out and about, and we just felt like he could just move in with everybody else, the swarm of bodies moving, and it would be nothing. And I think that's really what it was. So we're hoping that we're going to find that for him here, and we'll all be good to go. And I think that's our parenting tips, I guess, or information for, living in Mexico, moving to Mexico with the kid, traveling with the kid. A lot of people ask why he's not in the videos as much. He don't want to be because he's 12. And that's all. I mean, what else can you say?
Hey, catch us at the basketball court.
Right. He won't, you know, he gonna do what he wanna do. He don't want to show his face right now. Hey, that is what it is. He's still here though. He alive and well.
You caught him in that other video,
Right.
the house video. She caught him.
He's somewhere eating
he was
some
hiding,
chips.
but she caught him.
Right, he's somewhere eating some chips, somewhere in the house. I promise you. But he's here, and I think he likes Mexico.
Yeah.
I really do. He ain't had a taco yet though. He doesn't like Mexican.
Nah, that's true. We're gonna get there though this week, actually.
Yeah. So anyway, I am Kat.
And Amber.
And we are Wandering Soup. We will see you on the next video. Please like, subscribe, follow, share, do all of those things. And yeah, that's it. See you on the next Merida video.
Pray for us in the heat, y'all.
Cause it get hot again.